Welcome. Today we're going to work on direct, inverse, and joint variation. Now, direct variation, y varies directly with x. So y equals k is the constant of variation, times x. Inverse variation, and by the way, a direct variation, an example is miles per gallon for k. If miles per gallon times the number of gallons equals how many miles you can go. That's an example of direct variation. Inverse variation, y varies inversely with x. Y equals k divided by x, or x times y equals k. And joint variation, y varies jointly with x and z. Y equals k times x times z. So, let me just erase this for a moment. Put that back up in a second. Write an equation that relates x and y such that x and y vary inversely and y equals 6 when x equals 2. Well, we just said that x times y equals k, and we need to know the k value here. So 2 times 6 equals k. K is going to be 12. So the way you write the equation is y equals 12 over x, or x times y equals 12, though this is preferred. So now let's look at another example. Time required to empty a tank varies inversely with the pumping rate. So if I look at this, time varies inversely with pumping rate. And that's going to equal k. So 70 is the pumping rate, gallons per minute, and 20 is the minutes it takes to empty the tank. So 20 times 70 equals k, and in this case, k would be 1400. So therefore, y equals 1400 over x. And remember, x represents the time it takes to empty the tank, and y is the pumping rate. Describe the change in time to empty the tank as the pumping rate increases. So the faster that the pump can pump, the less time it's going to take. The slower it pumps, the more time it'll take. These are inverse relationships, kind of a seesaw, ends of a seesaw. So describe the time to empty the tank as the pumping rate increases, time decreases. What does the value of k represent in this situation? All right, let's see. Time, so this is minutes. Now let's think of this in terms of multiplying rates. We've got minutes, that's the x, and the pump is gallons per minute. If I multiply minutes times gallons per minute, the rates, the units cancel, and this is gallons. So k is going to represent gallons in the, we were talking about a tank, gallons in the tank. So if you have a particular tank, that tells you how many gallons are in that tank. That's that constant. All right. Now, if we look at tables, we need to decide whether these are inverse, direct, or neither. We're not going to worry about joint right now because it's not a third variable. But inverse, joint, or neither. And remember, if they're direct, then x times k equals y. If they're inverse, then x times y equals k, and k doesn't change, remember, in the problem. So if I multiply, the easiest one to check for is to see if x times y equals the same value of k throughout. So if I look here, when I multiply these two together, that gives me negative 24. If that persists throughout all of them, where x times y equals negative 24, then k is negative 24, and it's inverse. That works. Negative 1/2 times 48, negative 24, negative 24. So this is inverse. And k is negative 24. It's always nice to write down what k is. All right, let's go over to this next one. If we multiply, does that give us the same value? 9 times 8, 72. 3 times 25, 75. Doesn't work, right? So that's definitely not inverse. It has to be every single pair for it to be a particular type of variation. So we know that doesn't work. Now let's try something else. What value of k would you have to multiply times 9 to get 8? 8/9, right? And does 8/9 times 18 give you 4? No. So that's out. So this is a neither. This is neither direct nor inverse. Let's try the one right below that. What times 4 gives you 24? 6 times 4. Will 6, if 6 is k, will that work all the way down? Times 6, yes. Times 6, yes. Times 6, yes. Times 6, yes. So this is direct because k times x equals y, and it's the same k all the way down. So k is 6 in this situation. I could have tried 4 times 24. Does that equal 7 times 42? Obviously not, and certainly not half of 3. So that was obvious. Now, let's try this one. We know that negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. I know 8 times 24 and 5 times 15, I know these are negative, but 8 times 24, 5 times 15, they're not going to be the same value. Because this is bigger than this one, and this is bigger than this one, so it can't be the same value. All right, so times 3, that is going to, negative 3, that's going to work. Negative 3, yes. Negative 3, yes. Negative 3, oh. That one doesn't work. Because negative 3 times positive 9 is negative 27, not positive 27. It only takes one of them to not work, and it's a no, neither. So there you have how you work with tables. So again, there are two ways. For direct, it's the same number times the x to give you y all the way down. For the inverse, it's x times y equals the same number all the way down. All right, let's take a look at this. X and y vary inversely. X is 3 when y is 4. All right, so that wants me to rewrite this and give the equation All right, go ahead and try that one. Now that you've unpaused, let's see, 3 times 4 equals k. That means k is 12 coincidentally. So y equals 12 over x, or x times y equals 12. Please notice t varies directly as r, directly. So t equals k times r. I need to find the equation. T, 18, equals k times r, 2. So if I divide both sides by 2, k is 9. So therefore, t equals 9r. That's how you write that one. Z varies jointly with x and y. All right? So z varies jointly with x and y. Z equals k times x times y. See, this is a little different than the first one, right? When it said y varies jointly with x and z. So now to find the k value, I have to plug in all 3 of these. X is 5, y is 3. 60 equals 15k. Divide by 15. K is 4. So z equals 4xy. And that's that. So I hope this was clear, and have a great day.